Hey, what's up, everybody? So, welcome to episode one. Real quick little backstory. A couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, one of my players came to me, said he wanted to do more of a sci-fi theme. I said, that is great. Now that I'm going to get back into DMing and stuff and gaming and stuff with everybody. Didn't know how exactly I was going to execute that because I'm not that big of a sci-fi guy. I mean, I like the genre. I'm just not too proficient in it. So I'm not even sure how I'm going to run it. Anyway, I found this book, Esper Genesis, and I thought that it was great because we're so used to the 5e system. We don't have to learn a whole new rule system now. With that said, that's what kind of prompted this video and this channel, because I figured this is the best time to document the journey that I'm about to go on, and we're going to see where it ends up and see what directions and detours that we take. So the very first craft, here it is. Simple tiles. I mean, you can't start anywhere without tiles, right? So mine are a little reversible. The what I call derelict spaceship station here. And I got the nice clean station, white station here. I made mine reversible. You don't have to. I'm going to split this in two videos just in case you guys want to separate them or you only want to make one set or the other. I mean, hopefully you guys draw some inspiration, but real simple. I went with the 3x3 grid that BMC goes with the techniques of Wylock, and then just added my own creativity, I guess, for whatever amount that's worth. And I believe he did this kind of style with the Gothic buildings. So that's what you're going to get. One other thing I wanted to mention, guys, is that part of the inspiration for this is the thinness of these tiles. Because I travel to DM, I don't DM at my own location. I go to other places and I do that. I wanted to make something that was travel easy. So that's going to be the theme for pretty much until it changes, about how to make stuff that's so modular that it kind of flat packs is the term. So it's easier to travel with because I do travel. So hopefully that brings an extra layer of inspiration to somebody or to you guys, or you guys see something in this video and take it and run with it. And without further ado, is that one word or two words? Drop it in the links below. Is that a link or a comment? I'm new to this thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and most importantly, I hope you guys are inspired. Thanks. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need, 12x12 chipboard. Next, you're gonna need a whole lot of cereal boxes. Finally, your utility knife and glue. That's about it. So let's get started. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start off with that 12x12 chipboard, section it off into 3x3. That's the what I wanted. You can go ahead and cut yourself up some others. Now, one thing about the chipboard, again, fun fact, it's over 12 inches, slightly, about a 32th of an inch, a 32th. All right, let's just continue. I'm missing pictures here, but I just went ahead and cut 3x3. So I forgot to mention in the intro that I went ahead and picked up some granny grading or mesh from Michael's. You can pick it up anywhere. It was like 69 cents a sheet. I like that price, so I went ahead and picked up a couple. I cut them up into 3x3. Go ahead and put on that glue, make it do what it do, and bam, put it together, make it clever. So this is where I started going over some design ideas in my head. Couldn't quite get it. I knew that I wanted at least a little portion of everything to fit in a 1x1 square, so that the base could fit on it nice and flush. So I started off by measuring every 1/4 inch. I just used the mat. The mat is a wonderful ruler, it makes it easy. And then after I did that, I filled in the grid and completely disregarded the design that I originally did. Went ahead and did that, and you can do that because it's a craft. Now we got some video. I'm going ahead and lining up from corner to corner so I can get those corner angles like in the previous design. See here, just using the ruler for that. Wanted to get at least decently straight lines. Movie magic. Alright, enough of that. So So wanted to point out a little extra something I did here. If you're looking at a keypad, I did it at the 2, 4, 6, and 8 buttons, but I'm kind of just putting dots there. Now those dots are going to represent where I'm going to cut, because there's an inside and an outside. Here goes the cuts. Eventually you're going to get a nice little center there. Still has the grid lines. It's going to be helpful all the way through. Went ahead and started cutting through those dots. Again, those are the outer dots in the 2, 4, 6, 8 buttons. Now, one thing to note about cutting. You're going to start off by scoring at a horizontal, and then go ahead and dig deep into that corner at a vertical, and you're going to separate the corners a lot easier. Do a couple of passes in both directions. I want to take a moment right here while you watch me cut cereal box to just talk about safety. Always cut away from your fingers. Reorient whatever you're cutting so that it is cutting away from your fingers. Maybe some of the cuts might feel unnatural at first, but go ahead and be safe. Alright, now back to the craft. Now go ahead and take that center. I went ahead and put a 1/4 inch in from those corners. I don't know if you can see the dots from here, but I just went ahead and marked that out. Now just go ahead and run those diagonal lines from point to point till it makes an X. Points that share a box, you're gonna run them parallel. Alright, now let's begin assembly. Go ahead and start adding that glue. Make it do what it do. Be a little generous with it, it's alright. Now I use the mat and the grid lines to go ahead and line it up so I could do the best that I can to make it line up. So a quick little side quest over here. Notice how when you cut out the triangles, it gives you a nice little shape. Go ahead and save all those scraps that you're making while cutting things out. You can go ahead and make new designs, and you're gonna see that later, but I use the triangles here, and we're gonna see that when I cut that middle piece, I use that to make one tile. So it's 2 different tiles to make one. So for that other tile that was on the right, these are the measurements. I just measured in a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. And again, I used the mat to do it. But I measured in from each side, and then I went ahead and go and connect that box there at a slant. Then went ahead and cut that out. One score at a horizontal, and then dig into that corner with the vertical. So here's another way of doing it. I just basically cut 1/4 inch strips of cereal box, and then I put 2 on each side. Notice the overhang, you can cut that off later. That's easier, and actually it's more precise. Now I did go ahead and measure the middle ones on the top and bottom, and I just pressed it against the edges and then just marked it off where I was gonna make that cut. Mo white glue. I took all the little pieces that I made, went outside. Now these are the what I call derelict tiles. We're gonna get the gunmetal later. Went ahead and spray painted them. I spray painted the back because at first I was gonna just have them a single tile, but you'll see later on that I went a different direction. All right, time to paint. There is no other color than gunmetal. Just get it, go ahead, apply it, and smother it on. Just go ahead and give it a healthy coat. The more black you let show, the more weathered it's gonna look. I went ahead and just eyeballed it, and actually I wasn't even conscious of it really. I just go ahead and put it on. I did the sides because I want to do the sides. You don't got to do the sides, but it's a side quest. All right, so if you're a complete noob like I am to painting, always at least try to pick 3 colors in a gradient together. I went ahead and did the silver as a dry brush. Dry brush is load your paint up on the brush and then wipe most of it off on a paper towel, basically wasting it all on the towel and using really none of it, but it does get the highlights and it pulls out some of the extra detail, and it just gives it a natural look other than one solid color. The third color you see using is a pearl color. Now it's a little translucent, but I went ahead and used it anyway. It's nice, it gives it a little touch. All right, so here we go. If you want the grid but also want this tile not to have a complete grid, you can go ahead and apply it with rivets. And the way I did it was I just took that little pearlescent, I took a nice healthy glob of it, and I put it at the 1 inch marks. I used the mat to do that. Now, If you don't want to do it, you don't want to put rivets or whatever, and you just want a blank slate, you can still do that too, because every 3x3 tile, basically you can picture a tic-tac-toe board. Your players should understand it in one combat session, but the rivets are a helpful guide. Lets you free up some mental space there. And since I'm almost done, I'm just gonna let the video play out. Alright, so here's a little picture of them in use. I got a little couple Marines here. Now, again, I know, disclaimer, I just did rivets, and here's a picture with no rivets. But you can see how it still works. You just envision the 3x3 grid. It's a tic-tac-toe on every tile, and you can move around the board. Now, the rivets do add a nice touch to it, and later on, after this picture, I went ahead and did most of, if not all of them, and they look really nice. So I encourage it. Use a high contrast or get creative. That's your craft, our craft, and this is the hobby we share. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys got inspired. I hope this is something that's got longevity, and I hope that everybody participates and is engaging. And so, again, you got your derelict stations in episode 2. That sounds funny to say, but in episode 2, we're going to do the white station. So meet me over there, which is really here. I guess YouTube jargon or whatever. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, bell. Like, share, subscribe, bell. Really, to support the channel, man, just share it and I'll pass it forward. And I'd love to meet new people and get more inspiration. It's really a selfish reason. It's really to get inspired by you guys. But hopefully you guys get some inspiration out of me too. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.